Obviously, I'm assuming, as most of you know at this point, there's been quite a few discussions about the Batman Part 2 that have been going around these last couple days. We've been talking about Clayface being kind of confirmed for the movie, supposedly Dick Grayson, we're getting Robin in this sequel. There's a lot going into this film. We know they're going to start filming and begin production in March of 2024, so that's kind of right around the corner. So we are going to start hearing more and more about this movie. And one thing I want to talk about is Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face, because obviously that was something we kind of talked about after the first film, is that the Batman movie killed off the current DA, the District Attorney of Gotham City. So we're going to need a new DA, and who is more perfect for that than Harvey Dent? That's the perfect setup right there. And so to include Harvey Dent in the Batman Part 2, I think would be a brilliant idea. No, not necessarily make him Two-Face, and honestly I don't think they should make him Two-Face, at least not in this movie, but instead introduce the character, set him up as an upstanding kind of hero in Gotham City, and then you can play the long game with it, because then you can build that relationship between Harvey and Bruce. In The Dark Knight, which, great version of Two-Face, I really did enjoy that version, but in that version, Harvey and Bruce weren't exactly friends, but I personally, I like the version where Harvey and Bruce are friends, and that adds more emotional depth to when he eventually does become Two-Face. So set him up here, just introduce him, have him become the new DA, and then you can set him up to be Two-Face maybe in the third movie or in a spin-off movie, because we know Matt Reeves is doing a bunch of stuff to expand this universe. Actually, I think that would be a really cool third movie idea, especially because kind of the whole theme of this trilogy, and especially with that first movie, was the corruption within Gotham City. So what better way to end off the trilogy than seeing one of the holiest, kind of most pure souls within Gotham City be corrupted by that darkness. I think that would be really cool. So we could see Two-Face at some point in the Batman franchise, and I honestly think that the introduction of Harvey Dent in the Batman Part 2 would be a perfect idea. But of course that brings up the question of who could play Harvey Dent, and there's been so many casting choices and fan casts and all that stuff going around for years now, obviously since the first Batman movie came out. I think actually even before the first movie came out, because I'm pretty sure there were rumors at one point that Two-Face, or at least Harvey Dent, was going to be in the Batman movie. Obviously that didn't end up happening, but now we could get that. We could get that character in action here alongside Robert Pattinson's Batman. And the other day I saw some fan art online of Andrew Garfield as Two-Face, and it's definitely not a casting idea I thought of personally, but now that I'm seeing it, honestly this is kind of brilliant. And the funny thing about this though is if you look at this fan art, literally what they did, I don't remember the name of the artist unfortunately, but what the artist did was literally just take the face of Two-Face from the cover of Batman the Long Halloween Part 2, the animated movie. They just took the Two-Face side of the face on that and then just stuck it on Andrew Garfield's face, and then boom, you got Andrew Garfield as Two-Face. I thought that was kind of funny, but it works. Again, it's not a casting choice I really thought of, because most of the time I think of Two-Face as more of a middle-aged man, but when you think about it, you have a younger Robert Pattinson as Batman, so have a younger Harvey Dent as well. That could work. Andrew Garfield and Robert Pattinson, I believe, are at least in a similar age range, so I think that could work. And man, Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield is an amazing, fantastic actor, and obviously I would love to see him return as Spider-Man, but, it's Sony that we're dealing with over there, so who knows if or when that will actually happen, if we'll get The Amazing Spider-Man 3, which I'm still hopeful for, but it's not looking too likely anymore. So, bring him into a new franchise here with the Batman, and give him a more villainous role this time. Have him be Harvey Dent, have him become Two-Face. I think that would be really cool, and I think Andrew Garfield could capture this role so perfectly and so well. And like I said, Two-Face in The Dark Knight, that was great. This is a great version of the character, but I would love to see Matt Reeves take on the character, because clearly Matt Reeves knows what he's doing. He likes to kind of switch things up, but like make these creative changes that work for the characters very well, like he did with the Riddler and with Penguin, and now with Joker, played by Barry Keoghan. I'd like to see his take on Two-Face. I feel like that could be really cool and really interesting, and see how it could contrast from previous versions we've seen as well. Obviously, the most recent version of Two-Face we saw was played by Misha Collins in Gotham Knights. I haven't seen the remainder of that season, so I don't know what that was like. I saw a picture of it. It didn't look the greatest. But I would love to see a big budget Two-Face on the big screen once again, and especially an actor like Andrew Garfield would be great. And obviously, you know, before I end off the video, I do want to clarify, this is just basically a fan casting video. There aren't any rumors or reports out there that Andrew Garfield is in talks of the role, or even that, you know, Harvey Dent will be in the Batman Part 2, but I just saw this fan art and I was like, man, that is a really cool idea, and I would love to see that come to fruition. I think that would be great casting, and again, I think that would be perfect to introduce Harvey Dent in the Batman Part 2. Actually, speaking of Andrew Garfield in the Batman, another fan cast I saw, I believe, was Andrew Garfield as Scarecrow, which is another one I wouldn't mind seeing as well. I think that'd be an interesting choice, but really this Andrew Garfield as Two-Face, Harvey Dent, I think is a brilliant idea. Now, will it happen? Probably not, but the idea, I like it. So let me know in the comments below if you like the idea as well. Do you think we'll see Harvey Dent in the Batman Part 2, and could you see Andrew Garfield in this role? Or what other actors would you like to see as Harvey Dent Two-Face in Matt Reeves' The Batman universe? So anyways guys, thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I keep you up to date on everything goes on in the DC life.